Hey everybody, DM Jim here, and welcome to a new episode of the Tabletop Engineer. At the time I am putting this video up, and maybe that you are watching it, I am in Indianapolis at Gen Con 52? I can't remember. 2019. And I'm probably having a great time, and I'm probably shooting lots of videos so that I can share it with you in an upcoming episode. But today I want to do something quick and something fun, or at least I hope that you think this is fun, in preparation for me attending Gen Con. One of my favorite games, as you guys all know, is called Gaslands. It's a vehicle combat game that uses Matchbox and Hot Wheels style cars, okay? Now, I've done a lot of videos in the past on, making cars for that game. But what I want to do today is I want to do another one, but I want to do it from start to finish with you watching. I haven't even opened this up. This is the car I'm going to do. It's called Fast Gassin. It's a 100% 100 octane truck. Now the reason I picked this is it's a truck, which I like trucks, but it's got this huge fuel tank on the back and these mega, exhaust pipes on both sides, and the front of it just has this hammer, just solid, mean look. And this one should be fun to do. It's also got these crazy fenders. I'll open this up and show you, and I'll take some close-up photos and video before, before I prime it or do anything. But what I'm going to do in this episode is I am going to, from start to finish, I am going to take this car, prime it, paint it, accessorize it with weapons, detail it, whatever comes to mind, so that you can see how easy this is start to finish. Now, again, I've done this in the past, but I wanted to do another one because a lot of people are discovering Gaslands and they're wondering, do I need to strip the paint, or do I need to drill out the rivets and separate the halves? There's a lot of things you can do to a car, but I'm going to do this one quick and easy. No real advanced techniques, maybe one or two. We'll see. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is open this up and get the wheels covered in blue painter's tape so that when I prime it, they'll stay sort of pristine and clean. Let's get to the table and I'll get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to decide to do is whether you're going to take the car completely apart for priming and painting and stuff. I am not going to do that here, but if you should want to do that, you will need to get a drill and drill out these rivets. There's two here. Some cars have one, some cars have three, but this one has two. You just drill it until it damages that metal. It just basically cuts it up, and then the car will separate into two halves. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to cover these wheels so that they don't get primer on them when I prime the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the tape, and these fenders are kind of causing me some trouble. So what I have to do is, where are my scissors? I have to cut a very thin strip. You usually don't have to do this, but because these fenders are the way they are, they're not letting me curve the tape. Come on. What I may have to do is just do two pieces, which is what I'm going to do here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a piece down in there. Oh, there we go. Now it's doing. And I'm going to cut this and just sort of take something pokey and just push it down in there. In touch-up and painting, I'll cover anything that I miss. But like I said, I just want to cover the black part of the tires. I am going to paint the rims because they're this red, and I don't like that. So I just don't want to have to repaint the slick tires. Paint doesn't really adhere to them too well, and I don't want to prime them. So let me do that again, and I'll do that for all four wheels, and then I'll come back and show you the final result. All right, so I have the tires covered with tape, but before I take this out to prime, there's one more thing I want to do. Since this thing will have to stay out there for an hour or two for the primer to dry, I'm going to go ahead and super glue the wheels. Some people leave the wheels so they'll free roll. Some people will actually base the vehicle on a piece of on a base that's usually a rectangular piece. Like for instance, this I can make a 3-inch by 2-inch base out of, say, chipboard and glue this on it. And you would use those edges of the chipboard for measurement purposes in the game. But most people that I play with tend to just have the car standing by itself with no base, just as it is. But most of us tend to glue the wheels. So what you do is just squeeze some super glue down in there, just a big old blob of it, and let it settle in there. And trust me, after an hour or two, it will lock those wheels in place. So I'm not going to spin the wheels, but I'm going to take it out now and put it like this and prime it. Now, I usually prime the car in white. I used to do it in black, but I've since learned that a white primer tends to work a little better, at least for me, when it comes to applying miniature paints. All right, I'm gonna let this primer dry and then we'll tackle the paint job. Now, dummy me, I got so excited to get this thing painted, I forgot to put the weapons on it. Now, granted, I'm okay super gluing to primer, and I'm gonna have to do that a little later. But right now, what I'm going to do is I have some weapons that I have 3D printed. I have a double machine gun, and then I have single machine guns here. I'm gonna mount the double on the front, on the cab, and then I'm gonna mount these two, one pointing left and one pointing right. And then I'm gonna do some other modifications to the car, but I need to get those glued on right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rough up where I painted here, just so I have some place to glue onto. Again, the super glue tends to hold well on the primer, but I'm still gonna sand a little bit on there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put a little glue on, and I'm gonna spray some accelerant, if I can find my accelerant. What did you do with it? Where is it? Here it is. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the top there, and then put this down. And I'm gonna mount it facing front. Sometimes for action, I'll have it pointed in a different direction, but I think this will be all right. Okay, there's one. All right. And then these two, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put the glue on the top, and then I'm gonna hit it with the accelerant on the actual 3D printed piece. This one is going to go here, just holding it for a few seconds to get good. There we go. And then this one will go the other direction, which will go, say, right there. All right, so I have forward-mounted machine gun and two turreted ones on the top. Now I want to add some spikes. All right, what I'm gonna do now is use these pointed toothpicks. As you can see, I am out. Gotta remember to buy some more. I'm gonna trim these down to where the taper ends, and that'll sort of help me stay consistent with the lengths of these. I'm hoping it doesn't fragment too much. We'll see. So I'm gonna cut it right there. Perfect. So that's the length I'm going for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put three. I'm gonna put them on the side, 1, 2, and 3, following. Actually, I may glue them on this curved, where the curve begins. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So that would mean I would need 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is first, the accelerant tends to dry pretty quick. So I'll apply a dot of glue on the toothpick, spray the accelerant on the fender, and then hopefully I got it right where I want it. I'm just gonna put that on there like that. Let's see, did it get it? You know, I may have to sand these down. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. So what you do is take a file and just make sure you have a flat surface on the toothpick. Yeah, that's what I should have done to begin with. So put a little bit of glue again. Accelerant. Come on. I'm almost out of the accelerant too. It's crazy how much you use up while you're, so there we go. That's what I want. I can see where the glue pushed in. Perfect. See that? So I'm gonna do 2 more. All right, there we go. So 3 on the front, 3 on the back. These will get primed again. As you could probably have guessed, I'm gonna go prime again once all this dries. Oh well. Do I want to put some on the back? Yes, I do. It just won't look right without them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I have the 3 spikes on each side. They're not perfect, but they will do. And then I'm just going to add a little drop of glue to each of them. Okay, here you go. It's all primed and ready for the paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to time lapse now and paint this thing. I'm gonna let the dark wash dry. It looks really, really shiny right now, but when this wash dries solid, it will give it a very dirty, worn, and weathered look. Especially the metallics, all the steel, anything painted, the metallics will get a nice used color to it. The blue will darken, as will the fenders. So it should look nice when it's all said and done. So I'm gonna give this like an hour to dry, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at it closer. Okay, there you go. I have got one new Gaslands vehicle to add to my game. I really like this one. It looks like an old beat up tanker truck. It's just weathered really heavily. You know, the spikes have been welded on. I was a little generous with getting the silvery metallic paint on them to give it dots of silver like there would be weld points. 2 machine guns on top and a double machine gun facing the front. The exhaust looks very real, dirty, nasty. Very pleased with it. As you see, it doesn't take a lot to make a Gaslands car. Yes, there are people out there who are making some incredible cars with just unbelievable weaponry and the details and the weathering. If you take a photo in a certain condition, you wouldn't be able to tell that that was not a real car, like from a movie like Mad Max or something like that. But, you know, for the rest of us, normal humans, making a car for Gaslands is simply a matter of, you know, priming it, putting a good paint job on it, adding weaponry, and then getting it that weathered look if that's what you're going for. The weaponry, you can go as simple as toothpicks all the way up to like 3D printed weaponry. And then there's everything in between. And of course I have a playlist with all of my Gaslands videos, and there are a few in there where you can see how I've made different weapons from like just junk bits and electronics components. So you don't need to have a 3D printer to get this kind of result. I just happen to have these 3D printed machine guns, and I thought this would be a good vehicle to do it. I don't know what I'm going to name this yet. I'll come up with it. You'll find out when I put the title of the video up. But I'm quite pleased with it, and I'm going to be taking this with me to Gen Con. I'm taking 4 cars, hoping to find a pickup game because I couldn't get into the official Gaslands event. It filled up too fast. So I'm hoping to find some other players sort of milling around watching that might want to play a pickup game. And if so, this is probably one of the ones I'm going to use. And I'll take some photos and stuff from Gen Con and videos to show you what's going on. All right, this is DM Jim. I will see you next week with a new crafting video. It may not be the Gen Con video. That may take a couple weeks for me to get everything edited and stuff. Or it could be. Just don't know. Don't know what I'm going to be shooting at Gen Con, who I'm going to be meeting and talking to. But I will definitely get you caught up on all the things I see and do at Gen Con. Please remember to hit the subscribe button if you want to get notifications for future videos. Hit the like button or dislike button. Let me know what you think of this video. Comments are down there for questions. If you want to see more of this, let me know. I'm always open to making more Gaslands cars. I do have a new trash bash video, making using stuff from the junk drawer and other stuff I've collected, making something. So that's coming up very soon, probably when I get back from Gen Con. Please check out patreon.com/BexhamsBazaar. If you're not a subscriber to the monthly magazine, I would love to have you as a subscriber. It's only $2 an issue, Each issue comes out at the first of the month, and when this video goes live, issue 8 will already have been released on August 1st. So it's funny doing these things backtracking. I'm recording in the past, but talking about the future. Anyway, DM Jim, see you next week. Take care.